This is Helios Raven. I tell you how I do it, even if you don't care. And today we're going to continue with our building the planet killer. Now, I was trying to get this to look in a different shape, but when I was accidentally moving stuff around, I kind of looked how this kind of way of the inner workings looked. So we're going to actually go with this. And now, so first thing is first is we're going to first put a little bit of super glue in the on the edges where it actually is holding its own. So just to give it a little bit more security in there. Okay, oh, I'm sorry. Alrighty, now dab a little of the excess out of there. Alright, now that piece is going to take some time. I don't want to start putting in any of the simple green in. I'm sorry I keep saying, I'm sorry, for some reason I have paint stripping on my mind. But, so we're going to let that dry for a little bit, so what we're going to do in the meantime is we're going to add the final piece to this set, which are the wings, as for lack of a better term for more fins, if you want. So we're going to first clip those off. Excuse me. Get these nice and clean. Okay, now all nice, and once we've done that, there's going to be only two more. Once we've done that and we put the simple green, green stuff on the little center column piece here, the only other thing that'll be left to do is the is prepping the stand, because it does fit on its flight stand. Only issue is it is a little too small, so it does kind of do this dive thing going with it. So we're going to have to drill through the bottom of this thing, and just to give it a little bit of extra room for the peg to sit in there. It does actually have a peg hole right there, and this is standard with a lot of Battlefleet Gothic. You do tend, at least with the pewter pieces, you do tend to have to drill through them to give them some more space, because the hole they provide is not really too good. And the way that one second, let me check the picture for a moment. Sorry, the pieces in the middle there didn't look like they belonged. And so what we're going to now do is we're going to glue the fins to the bottom. Checking the page here, the curve faces towards the Armageddon gun. And so we add a little bit of glue right here. Oops, sorry. And of course, I probably should have drilled the hole first before doing this, but I like to make things I like to do things the more complicated way. So, just gonna have to deal with. And the one thing that's a little painstaking sometimes with these Battlefleet Gothics things is or at least with a lot of general models where they have like these angled fins, they don't really set it right to make it the right angle that it has to be, so you have to kind of gauge if the angle's right and if it's good enough for you. So it always, like, especially with like me who's very picky with my ships appearances and such, it just causes a lot of headache because I'm just sitting there over obsessing more than I should about the positioning of the wings of the ship. And they do it a lot with the Eldar, with the Knights, with the Eldar a lot. The wings are the wings are separate pieces, which cause me to have to, let me put this down, sit there and figure out how I'm going to sit there and position the wings and make sure they look right and all this other stuff. And so it's just one thing that I wish Games Workshop, or Specialist Games as it would be, would have considered when designing these models. Okay, and we're up to the second fin here. Okay, got a nice, looks even. There, now I just have to sit here and wait for this to dry and hope I don't move too much to upset the symmetry, because if I do, then I'll be in trouble. There we go. Not perfectly symmetrical, but close enough for government work, if I do say so. Yep. There we go. Curse my never-ending quest for symmetry in Battlefleet Gothic, in my Battlefleet Gothic models. Okay, so now we just have to sit and let this dry, and then we can move on, so we'll be right back. Okay, we are back, and now I've attached the stand to the Planet Killer. It was just me hand drilling because my regular Dremel wasn't fitting the bit I was using. Personally, there is this video on YouTube. If I remember which one it was, I'll put a link in the description. And it actually shows you how to magnetize your Battlefleet Gothic onto their stands, which, if you can, I would highly recommend doing over using the actual stands themselves. I'm not sure if it works on the pewter ones. I know he does it with the gentleman who does the video uses the plastic ones. I'm not sure if he does them with pewter as well. But if I can remember it, I'll put a link on it. Take a look at it. You might want to consider doing that, because these stands are a pain in the butt, especially with the pewter ones, because I've yet to actually find a pewter model that I did not have to drill into the model to get this flight stand to fit on it. And so the Planet Killer is pretty much finished. All that's really left is for me to green stuff the edging around it, and a little bit of green stuff in the back, just to give it a little bit more less of that model built look. But that's pretty much it. And so let's do a quick once around the whole thing. There's the Armageddon gun, and there's the power core for the Armageddon gun, there's the lances, the bridge, the famous Chaos horns, Chaos little spire things going, and the fins, and there are the engines, the things I've been saying that they don't really indicate on the model. They're just a lot smaller than what I'm used to with most Battlefleet Gothic. You usually like these type of tiny, like, discrete engines are on the smaller ships, but I guess it makes sense because the thing is ridiculously slow in the game. But so there we go. And that is really all there is to this model. I hope you all enjoy, and I hope that this was a ample substitute for a battle report for the next couple of battle report. If I can get all these episodes, I'm not sure if I'll be getting these episodes all up at once because they are fairly long, but we'll see what happens, and I hope you do enjoy them, and we'll continue on next time. Until then, this is Helios Raven, signing off.